So I'm going to move on now to move off that game, and I'm going to move to the Dylan Edwards withdrawal from the State of Origin team and the James Tedesco call into the State of Origin team, the New South Wales State of Origin team. Now this has again created some discussion, and it's been suggested in some publications that this has been an unfair move, that Tedesco should not have been allowed to come into the team after the withdrawal of Edwards. But I just wanted to firstly explain the process. There is nothing unusual about what took place. I want to explain the process, point out what the rules are. The rules in Origin are the same as in the NRL competition. So we'll have a look at what the rules say, and then we'll have a look at what's happened in the past, just to again put it in the right perspective. So when we talk about team list exemptions, and that's the category that this falls under, team list exemptions. So applications to the NRL head of football, where a club is genuinely unable, and a club of course slash in this team Origin team is genuinely unable to comply with the team list restrictions referred to in a couple of other clauses which are irrelevant. The team may apply to the NRL head of football for permission to include additional players in their team list. All applications must be made in writing in the form prescribed to the NRL football department and provide detailed reasons. Now, of course, these detailed reasons are usually that a player has been injured, or a player is sick, or a player has been called away to a birth of a child. They all have to be valid reasons. It's not just because of a simple change of mind. Oh, you know, we picked so-and-so and now we've had a change of heart and we want to drop them out and bring someone else in. That would not be approved. It has to be on the basis of a valid reason for a late change. And this is not unusual. So I just wanted to give you this as, you know, examples of what has happened in the past. So since 2021, over the last 4 years, there's been over 130 team list applications that have been made in the Premiership. So obviously we're talking about the NRL Premiership here. Same process, same system, most of which were approved. There were some that weren't approved, but they're usually, if a club applies for an exemption, it's usually because they do have valid reasons. And there have been 6 applications by Origin teams since 2018, which have also been approved. Now, just to run through those, because it's a much shorter list, if we go back to 2018, Queensland added Anthony Milford to the list after an injury to Billy Slater. Billy Slater came out, obviously. In 2021, New South Wales, Kolomatangi, after an injury to Schuster, and Schuster was removed, so added to the team that was originally selected. Again in 2021, we had 3 in 2021 because of injuries, or not because of a mixture of injuries and other factors. Ben Hunt came in, injury to Reid Marnie, and Reid Marnie was removed. Also, we had Xavier Coates. So Reece Walsh was injured during training. Militalo was called in. There was a further complicating factor around eligibility there, but Coates was brought in originally as a replacement for Reece Walsh. If we go to July in the same year, in Origin 3, Queensland, Cohen Hess, after 2 initial squad members, lost 2 initial squad members, Jai Arrow and David Fafita, so Cohen Hess came in. And of course this year, the one that we've just, that everyone's talking about, with Dylan Edwards dropping out and James Tedesco coming in. So this is not unusual. Of course, we want to see both teams in State of Origin at maximum strength, not because someone's changed their mind, but because of an injury or an illness that requires a specialist position to be filled. The other relevant factor here is that in the NRL competition, we allow teams to name 22 players every week. And in that, we generally require them to try and cover for injuries from their 22. And we will generally ask them to cover at least the first injury, unless there's a specific reason why they can't because of the additional players that are in their list. If they lose 2, then we will usually allow a replacement player to come in. The difference in Origin is we only allow them to choose or to select 20 players. So they're already too short of what an NRL team is on any given week. And once they lose a specialist player, like Dylan Edwards, and we all feel incredibly sorry for Dylan Edwards, who was selected for the team, and through no fault of anybody, he's suffered an injury, and that's allowed the selectors then to make their own decision about who they want to replace Dylan Edwards, and they've brought James Tedesco back into the team. So again, I think that sometimes there is. We don't always remember what's happened in the past. We also don't always understand the system and the processes that are involved. These things are all subject to rules. We don't allow frivolous changes. We don't allow teams to make changes on a whim because they feel like, oh, maybe we should have selected so-and-so, so let's bring them in. It's all about a process that has to be approved. And if Queensland lost a key player between now and Wednesday, and they had to make a change, and I'm sure no one wants to wish that on them either, then that would be considered based on the circumstances as well. So just wanted to give you the detail about all that, what's happened in the past, what the process is, and to try and remove any suggestion that this has been a rule that's just been plucked out of thin air to allow James Tedesco to join the team.